Hello, my retro friends. Thank you again for finding my channel, Mike the Retro Realtor. Today, we're going to talk about something that's been in the news a lot, probably the worst thing you can have for the economy, inflation. Obviously, inflation is probably one of the worst things you can have. It destroys wealth. It makes everything more expensive. Higher interest rates means money is more expensive to borrow, means it slows down everything. And wages in general do not keep up with inflation. We're going to talk about how to hedge your bets against inflation. There is a silver lining with inflation. So people in 2021 who refinance their houses are actually making money in a roundabout way, it's counterintuitive, on their debt. If you took out a mortgage for $200,000, and I know it's coming down now, but at peak inflation, we were about 10%. So that $200,000 debt now is the equivalent of $180,000 because of inflation. Even if you own a house that's just your primary residence and that's all you own. Okay, very good. Buying that house in 2021, you bought this house for $200,000. For our sake, we'll just say you have zero down payment. Now you owe $180,000 or the equivalent of, and you're only paying about 3.5%, something like that. Interest rates are now 7%. So in essence, you are actually making money on your own debt. But more importantly, you have a place to stay and that cost is fixed. Hopefully you didn't do an ARM or anything like that, but if you bought a 30-year fixed, that's the best case scenario. Moving forward, if you are still buying today, it's not the best case scenario, but it's still better than nothing. When you own your own property, you own your own home, you don't have to worry about the landlord coming by and raising your rent $100 a month, $200 a month, whatever they want to do. You're not at the mercy of the landlord. Yes, of course, you're responsible for maintenance. Yes, of course, you're responsible for property tax increases and insurance increases. But at the end of the day, 90% of your mortgage is stable. It doesn't really go up much at all. Property taxes have been pretty stable. I know they're going to go up in Milwaukee County. That's a whole nother video. But they've been pretty stable for the last 15 years. If interest rates actually do ever come down, you do have the right to refinance if they do come down. Personally, I don't think it's going to come down where it makes sense. We'll see what time has to say. And once you own your house, that value is there. Let's say we're going back to your $200,000 house. Inflation helps raise the price of fixed assets. We've seen this with the real estate spike in the last 4 or 5 years. Look at cars. They've spiked way up, and now they're kind of coming down for used cars. So the longer you stay in this game, like everything else when it comes to investing, the longer you stay in the game, the better off you are. So that's a silver lining when it comes to inflation. Buying real estate is definitely the biggest hedge because it locks in your mortgage payment, it locks in your cost of ownership, and then eventually, of course, the biggest reason why we own real estate, after you pay it off, you own a hard asset that you can sell at any time, and they're fairly liquid. Now, I know there's bad markets where you're stuck with real estate, but once again, if you own it outright, maybe you don't get the best dollar you want, the highest dollar you want, but at least you'll get it, and it can sell pretty quickly. You can sell any piece of property, depending on how open you are to price. Within 30 days, it generally closes. Please subscribe to my channel for more common sense real estate advice, along with a flair for nostalgia.